Welcome to the Pint and Click podcast. I'm Dave. I'm here with Tony and Joel, and we're here to talk about Venom today, the new movie in theaters. Venom is a Marvel superhero, supervillain. I'm not really sure. He goes back and forth. But if you're into the Marvel comics, this is a Sony movie because it's a Spider-Man villain. So it's not usual Disney fare. And it's got some weird reactions to it that I'm really interested in. So, guys, I'm going to talk about it first because I had a strong reaction to this movie. I kind of liked it a lot, like a whole lot. There's some problems with it. We'll get to that. And I'm going to compare it to Infinity War, which is not fair. But Infinity War kind of wore me out. I was tired. I was like, okay, we did it. We got here. I don't have to watch superhero movies ever again. And I didn't. I didn't watch Ant-Man and Wasp, you know. And then we got to Venom, and I kind of made myself watch it last night, like barely 12 hours ago. And it was just a lot of fun. It was action-packed. I was on the edge of my seat. I was paying attention. I had a good time. You know, that's the important part, right? Do you feel good watching the movie? Do you feel good leaving the movie? And I really did. The beginning is slow. Oh, my God. It's... So I did go last night. I went at 10:30 p.m., and that's relevant because not only is the beginning slow, but I can back that up with a man was snoring in the first half hour of the movie in the theater I was at. There were three of us there, and one old man took a nap in the first act, which is fine because, I don't know, I didn't really enjoy the first act. Mm-hmm. But after that, it's really good acting, but a really bad script, I feel.
Yeah, that was a great way of putting it.
Yeah, like the dialogue is just garbage for the most part. It's all the usual tropes of, you know, I think he literally says, let's go save the world at the end. Like, you know, what superhero movie doesn't have a line like that at the end of the movie? But the action scenes were almost all really exciting because he didn't know it. So it's a alien symbiote, which means this weird goop creature has bonded with Eddie Brock, or Tom Hardy. It can do weird things. It can grow really big or, you know, turn his arms into swords or whatever. And so the action scenes, he didn't know what to expect because he didn't know if he was going to punch this guy or eat this guy. He didn't know if he was going to bite his head off or throw him into a building. Like, so I was kind of really into it. The motorcycle chase when he's fleeing from the security guards. And like they're doing weird jump stunts.
Sure.
Like I was into that. And I'm like, this is a good movie. This is a great time I'm having. I'm so surprised.
I was lucky enough to see it in a theater where they cranked the volume, and that particular scene really nailed. Like they thought they really nailed on top of just like the dramatic like camera angles where you're not sure how far in the air he is when he's doing the flying motorcycle type of thing. They also really nailed the soundtrack. They do like a lot of brass instruments, just like swelling and like just. You're thrown off a cliff literally at that point because you're not really sure where the movie's going anyway. So it's great to see a visceral action movie again, like in a Marvel context, but then they're actually they're really paying attention to like the delivery and sticking the landing and stuff like that. So I'm back. Give me more superhero movies. I can't wait for the ones coming next year, Captain Marvel, and who even knows what else. Like I'm all about it. Yeah. And to be fair, like I don't know that it has I can't really call out, like, does it have really great fight scenes or anything like that? No, I think it's more like, well, you're kind of worried about the protagonist. Something's going to happen to him, and you're not sure what's going to happen. And then it's because Eddie Brock, with the Venom symbiote, has this ability, like you said, something will precipitate. Is it coming from him, or is it coming from the symbiote? Is it coming from Venom? And it stays lighthearted and relatable because Venom himself is a talking, voice-acted character within Eddie Brock's head. And so that, to me, is maybe the closest thing we could get to a spoiler with this because it's really well done and executed, and it makes you feel like you're in his head.
Yeah.
And that's actually, that all starts, it feels like, right at that fight scene, at that motorcycle chase scene, I think. I think that's when it kind of begins. It's like they're in the kitchen.
Yeah, at the very beginning it starts in the kitchen, you're right.
In the kitchen, so.
Yeah, it highlights the relationship, not just the the action. I was fascinated by, well, how was this man's psyche suddenly being, other movies might have like really taken a lot of time to develop, this is like you're invading my persona, my psyche, and it really didn't go there. It went with like there's someone else here. How am I reacting to this? How are we joining together? I like that part a lot. I think that
it's almost like a buddy cop movie, but there's only one guy.
Right. With Tom Hardy.
Yeah, with Tom Hardy. So, like, he was outstanding, I thought, being a little weird, a little uncomfortable, kind of shy.
And motivated.
And motivated and serious. But then later in the movie, when he's affected by Venom, you know, he's very scared for himself and for others. He's very confused, and he's going through, like, all of these emotions for all of these moments in the movie, so it had to be a strain. He's acting versus a voice, you know, not a person in the room, but a voice in the character's head, and he's reacting to that, and I think Tom Hardy did a phenomenal job.
So a few weeks back, I actually went to a mental health first aid training, and we did this exercise. It was a 3-person exercise where you try to hold out a conversation while someone else talks on a script through your ear, like directly into your ear. And it's supposed to help you understand what it's like to be actually having a psychotic episode. And that's interestingly, the way Tom Hardy was reacting to a voice in his head was essentially how someone having a psychotic episode would be reacting. And I thought that was just like his level of being disturbed and never really like coming down from this like anxiety of someone speaking in his ear that he couldn't see. I just thought that was a very, like, you know, if you're wondering if that has a real world tie-in, if this is just science fiction, I think it really does have like an interesting real world tie-in there.
Yeah, like he had heightened anxiety, like pretty much from that whole act 2 to the end. Maybe not at the very end. Maybe he got his confidence there. But, like, I'm thinking of a lot of scenes in Act 1 where he's asleep in bed. He's chill at the restaurant. Like, he seems very confident, very collected. He's making cool jokes. And then, you know, for the rest of the movie, he's looking around. You know, he's saying things out loud that he shouldn't be saying out loud. And, you know, he's having to deal with that. And, you know, like... I think that was very well acted. Again, I think this movie is very well acted, especially by Tom Hardy. So I say the script is bad because I think the dialogue is cheesy, and a lot of the character development I think was rushed or strained. Like the Venom symbiote comes to like Eddie Brock very much, and I think that happens too quick. It's just like, you know, at the beginning of the movie, well, not the beginning, about the middle of the movie, the symbiote says, you know, look, you belong to me. I'm running the show. And if you behave, you'll probably survive. And then at the end, the symbiote's like, oh, I really like you, Eddie. Like, what do you want to do? I'm fine with this. Like, you know, Eddie's calling him names and they're joking around. And I'm like, this kind of came out of nowhere. Like, so I felt kind of rushed that the Venom character developed way too quickly for me. I thought it should have been more like evil for longer or less cooperative at the end. I didn't like the bad guy.
Right, Riot?
No, Drake specifically, who was the Elon Musk caricature turned up to 11 and made evil, who was just 100% mustache-twirling bad guy, especially after Black Panther, which had Killmonger with these amazing moral questions, and people come out of that movie and they're like, is he a bad guy? Was he right the whole time? I don't know how to feel about Killmonger. This guy's just a bad guy, and he's always been a bad guy. There's nothing redeeming about this guy except that he's rich. Like, I don't know. I don't have a good word to say about him. I don't have an interesting word to say about him. And that's not because he was poorly acted. It's because he was poorly written. He's just generic superhero villain.
To counter that, there are some characters who in the movie who the doctor who is the current of
Dan, right? The character?
Oh, Dan, yeah.
The boyfriend.
Current boyfriend of the, Well, yeah, and
there was a point where you would expect him to reject Eddie's character, and he genuinely wanted to help him, and he really responded to his doctor training instead of to his character's, you know, motivation of, I don't want this guy around anymore.
Right.
And that's one of the best uses I've ever seen a lobster tank be put to.
Oh, yes.
So I'll leave it at that. But there was a lot of, like, just stuff coming off out of nowhere at you.
Everybody in the scene that you're talking about there, but I think also when you talk about people acting almost in each other's best interest, it showed an optimistic side of humanity in a lot of ways. It showed that this doctor, you're not going to look at the negative of that this doctor is going to be jealous of Eddie trying to get back together with his girlfriend or something. So it's great to see that in a film where so often do we think it's going to go south and it's going to go negative, and yet here it's like they're taking care of each other.
Right.
That's what humans do. They take care of each other, and when they see each other distressed.
Yeah, and he almost makes it like a joke, like, oh, I'm a doctor, this man is my patient, this man is sick, just to get out of a weird social circumstance. But then when it turns out there's something wrong, like, he has real concern for Eddie. Like, this doctor...
And that carries the plot forward.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a great observation and good call out on that scene.
Yeah, I did remember thinking that, like, oh, this is going to go, he's going to be jealous, he's going to do something sneaky to sabotage...
Some Seinfeldian,
yeah.
Plot take, and...
Right.
But
it'll just magically work out.
They made it interesting by making it less complicated. Like, how about he's just a good guy? How about he's, which is important to contrast with Eddie, who loved Annie very much, and they were going to get married, and then, maybe wasn't that great a guy and didn't take the situation that seriously. Dan was there to contrast that, and it's just like, he's just always a good guy,
He's a consistently good guy.
Yeah.
And I'd like to also accentuate the good acting in a poor script with Michelle Williams. I thought she, it's almost like these characters, these actors are moonlighting in this film. They're taking times off from their Oscar pursuits.
Sure.
And just kind of like, hey, you know what? I got to hurry up. I got this Venom movie I have to film afterwards. And it just kind of had that feeling of it. Yeah. They were just having fun. They were doing this. And Michelle Williams and Tom Hardy, they just really carried this through. It's nice to see them after all these serious movies that they're in.
Yeah.
And they're having fun with this. And
I hope so. It looked like it.
Yeah. It's like, it's just, I can help with this situation. I'm running down a hallway really fast. It's just kind of explosions happening. And I think as an actor or actress, you really enjoy those kinds of films. You just, that's just, how many times you're at work and you have fun work and you have not fun work. Or, not fun, but it's just work that's geared towards a longer pursuit goal.
Yeah.
And some that's just like instant gratification. I think this might have been more of just I love acting because of acting film. And I enjoyed watching that.
Yeah. A couple more little things. I say the beginning was boring, and then I liked the rest of it. I thought the fight at the end was a little silly between two monsters. Like, we've seen this before. We've seen Hulk fight Abomination. Like, I don't really need to see two aliens punch each other.
Plus, I didn't really think that fight was necessary to what was going on, but that's besides the point.
Sure.
I thought the visuals were so good in so many points, but I think for some reason at that point, because there's no like humans on the screen, it's just you're just like watching a video game or something.
Yeah.
And
like the visuals in the motorcycle fight and the visuals in the kitchen were very good and very striking. But then at the end, when it's just two aliens just punching, just wailing on each other.
Yeah. It was very fast.
I'm checking out.
It was like a Jason Bourne film, trying to get you into the fight, and you can't really see what's going on. And that's like, it was almost too fast for the eye to see what was going on, and everything was the same color.
I was squinting to figure out what made Riot different than Venom.
He's
the color
like slightly grayer and longer eyes, and it's like that's all you got to tell them apart. Like that's too bad.
When you think of Venom, you think of teeth and the curling tongue.
Yeah.
And they obviously recognized it, and they really went to town with it. I thought that was great. And there was some dialogue that was funny in the film, but I really enjoyed the tongue and it was just.
Yeah, it's like this is kind of leads to something I was going to ask you guys about it. Like, how well did you feel like it stuck to the core like mythology of Venom as you know Venom? Because I feel like he's kind of just a villain in Spider-Man in a lot of ways, but he's just a lot cooler, so much to the point where like you want to read about Venom in other contexts. And I loved like once he actually embodies the full costumed and muscular Venom, it's like you're never sure what's going to happen, and usually it's like precipitates really violently or something, and then it's over. And I thought they did a really good job of portraying that on the screen. That was maybe the unique thing that they added to it, where it's like, I'm Venom, and then he's like back to Eddie Brock, and it's no big deal. But I don't know. What did you guys think?
I think he's a little bit more carefree Venom, that is, in the movie context. I think he's making more jokes than the alien symbiote does, which is fine because it's a movie and you want it to be fun and interesting, as opposed to a comic book where you can have a dark issue 1 month, and a comic book takes 10 minutes to read, and if it's dark and gritty, like that can be good. But a movie, if it's dark and gritty for 2.5 hours, that could not be good. You got to have laughter, or you got to have action. You got to break it up somehow. You got to have color somewhere. And so, like, they did that. But, like, his attitude towards humans is probably all right, where he kind of feels like he's superior and he can eat whoever he wants and, all that stuff that kind of nailed. Eddie Brock is very different in the comics and in the movie, but that's fine. Like, I thought it was a great character.
Yeah.
They kind of kept the journalist spin on it. That's kind of superficial, but, like, they made it really deliver in this plot. That he is someone of... So they wanted to make him kind of weird, kind of shy, kind of an outcast, kind of a loser, they kept saying. But they wanted to give Eddie Brock a strong moral core, and the journalism career that he has in the movie does that. Because his strong moral core becomes important for when he has to deal with Venom.
Right.
And try to keep him in check, because when Venom shows up, he's just like, I'm going to murder everyone that isn't us. Eddie Brock has to say, no, there's good guys too. Like, So I thought the characters were both really strong in the movie of Eddie Brock and of Venom, and I thought they interplayed well, and I thought, regardless of whether or not it's similar to the comics, in comics, he's a villain at first, then he's a hero sometimes, and then he goes back and forth. I think he's a hero right now, but even if he's a hero, Venom still eats people. Like, that's...
Right. I enjoy that aspect of him, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to... To me, it's almost like I always come back to Severus Snape. I never knew what was going to happen in scenes with Severus Snape in the Harry Potter books. And I feel the same way about Venom. It's just the whole spectrum is open.
Yeah.
So Venom's in theaters now. If you want to check it out, go check it out. I recommend it strongly. It seems the two of you recommend it maybe a little bit more mildly, but recommend it nonetheless.
Super fun.
It's definitely fun.
Yeah. You'll enjoy it.
I don't want to talk down to it, but like where Infinity War was kind of cerebral and emotionally demanding, this was just fun. It was good action scenes. It was good acting. It was kind of great characterization here and there. Not everyone, but like definitely worth my time, definitely worth my money. And if you want to know more about Venom, we've got graphic novels probably here at the library. They're often checked out. Venom's actually really popular. But
there was we had them on Face Out on that display for maybe a week or two or 2 weeks, and every book we're putting out was gone by the next time we walked by.
Yeah, so every time we put out a book, like, anyone want to check out Venom? Like, it'd be gone in an hour or two. We'd say, well, let's put out another Venom book, and then that would be gone in an hour or two.
Right, that was really interesting.
So come on by the library, check out some Venom books, check out Spider-Man Homecoming, which I still recommend if you are feeling your Spider-Man meters getting a little low. But otherwise, go see Venom in the theater, because I also think it's a theater movie. It's big and it's loud, and it's, you want that rumbling bass of Venom's voice.
Yeah.
So, all right, everyone, that's the Pint and Click podcast. We'll see you next time.